All right, what's up, guys? Crypto market update. Let's get straight into it. Bitcoin obviously still bearish across the board. We have just deviated our range low here, and we are reclaiming the range back fairly nicely. Let me turn this down a little bit. We've also SFP'd. What did we SFP? Oh, there must have been an hourly high that we SFP'd. Yeah, so we SFP'd the hourly high here. And we're still trending. We're still overall trending bearishly here. I would be paying attention to this range here and see when we potentially get a deviation, making a second tap and potentially creating some form of distribution like so. Yeah, that is kind of it for the pre-planning here. Other than that, we can definitely look at this from a more local standpoint. Like, you've got more demand here, which I will use. Like, it's just valid. Okay, we can use this. That is fine. That's obviously been mitigated. We have this refined section there. Yeah, overall, I'm kind of just looking for this distribution model to play out. Not a whole lot more that I'm interested in. If we hypothetically push up and break, if we break market structure to bullish on the hourly, which is not yet broken, I'll be looking for POIs that we might reject from. So at the moment, I wouldn't say there's that many as per se. Maybe in here, like, you might be able to just use this as a POI. Should we reject from here? Yeah, it's valid. I will allow this as a POI. And like the return to zone that's getting created for now is quite nice, sell side wise. Like, that is pretty decent. Yeah, so far we're still in a bearish context with Bitcoin. We've SFP'd this high once, and then I can definitely see us SFPing it again and creating that distribution, leaving behind some form of supply POI here. We get a revisit and then a break back down. So yeah, that is Bitcoin. Let's see what USDT dominance is doing. And USDT dominance still remains bullish on the alley as well. So like so far, nothing really has changed. That is our hourly low. So for now, I can continue to expect alts to distribute. We had that ETH distribution, which I mapped out, but so far ETH has continued to go higher. So not a whole lot to, not a whole lot to do for ETH at the moment. The only thing I would kind of pay attention to is this range right here. Like just that, and that's it. And that's not necessarily too like far-fetched from happening. We just need to continue slowly trending up higher, which we are locally, and then yeah, deviate the second time, or deviate once, and then create a potential third tap. That is it for ETH. That's not necessarily valid demand. Maybe on a lower time frame we will have something. We've definitely got structured demand. That is for sure. Right here. So that's been mitigated. That's been mitigated. And we can definitely use this as the unmitigated demand that is remaining on the chart. Definitely would not be opposed for a accumulation to occur upon mitigation of this demand very locally, but we will see. And that is it for ETH. So keep an eye out for distributions, which is going to be essentially the context of the whole market. If I was to quickly go back to Bitcoin, yeah, not a whole lot to change. Sorry, that's my ADHD wanting to go back to Bitcoin. All right, okay, let's have a look. We've reclaimed this range really, really nicely. Will there be a potential distribution somewhere in here? Not a whole lot that I'm interested in cake at the moment. Maybe this, if anything. Yeah, like I'll allow this. Some nice lows forming there. Once again, just got to be mindful of the demand that has been created here. I need two candles going up. Otherwise, I'm not pulling the demand. That has been mitigated. There might be some refined structured demand in here which has not been mitigated. And I have a feeling that might just be the case. Yeah, correct. That is the case. So keep an eye out there. Similar to ETH, it would be nice for this demand to get mitigated first. Or at least like a move up, come back, slowly push up, grab something in here, and then boom. That would be ideal as well, but only time will tell. Sweet, awesome. Yeah, and that's kind of it. BNB, I would definitely be paying attention to this. Something that maybe will get confirmed on the weekend or late weekend, maybe. Same thing, this just needs a bit more time to develop. Yeah, that's it for now. No real key supply POIs here that I'm seeing. That is still valid. All right, WIF, let's have a look what WIF is doing. A lot of these pairs are looking quite similar at the moment. Could they all be retracing for a potential distribution back down? It's not out of the question. That's the plan for WIF as well. Just monitor that distribution. I swear Asta's going to be the only pair to not have a distribution, I bet you. And rightly so. Rightly so, Asta. Yep. Although you never know at the end of the day, but this bounce could be semi-decent, but this chart just doesn't look that good at the moment. Let's be real. Render. Render may have just confirmed its not just confirmed, like Render's kind of in a Model 1 accumulation at the moment. It's about as valid Model 1 accumulation as you can get, to be completely honest. And we've even got like a very little low time frame TCT within TCT right here. Like, how's this for context? That is tradable. 2 AM though, would not have caught me awake at that time. But yeah, that's actually quite nice. That is quite nice as a counter context move. So I honestly expect this to complete itself. Clean counter context move. Beautiful. Like really, really nice. Let's have a look at Link. We've kind of grabbed this extreme liquidity, but there's obviously extreme demand below. I'll say very similar situation. I will pre-plan for a distribution to come back into the supply. And we can move this up the leaderboard as well. Pepe. Essentially the same. I think a lot of these pairs are going to be the same. Just potential distributions. It will be a thing of just setting the range up and then setting my alert at the top of the range and the bottom of the range. And that will be it. Even here, there's not like a whole lot of demand that I'm too like worried of. Worried about. We've even mitigated all that. Yeah, like it is pretty clean. It is pretty clean all around. Very nice. Let's have a look at Fartcoin. Well, there's already an alert there. Obviously grabbed all that. That remains. We can move Fartcoin up. Sui. Very similar. You can already see the pattern here. Like not any real supply here, and even that, like, there is supply, but that hasn't grabbed anything, so it's not of interest. But yeah, another potential distribution, so we can move that up. Let's have a look at Tau. Same thing. I feel like I'm just going to be drawing a lot of these ranges today. That is all that this market check will be. Let me quickly check what NZD CAD is doing before we go back to Tau. Okay, it's just confirmed a potential deviation, so we will see. I will need a lot more, yeah, I'll need quite a bit more pullback and more of a range bound price action. Let's finish Tau off. Yeah, that's it for Tau. Move that bad boy up. Ton. Ton is also forming a potential higher time frame distribution. This is actually a prime example of a distribution being created, which is then used to be the first tap of a higher time frame distribution. So this is like market maker involvement to a T, essentially. This actually looks quite nice for Ton. So we will move that up as well. And we will set and Litecoin. Let's check Euro NZD before we dive into Litecoin. Okay, this is now we've created some nice liquidity though, but it's just so low time frame. It is so low time frame. Yeah, 4 hours. For this to be a valid entry, I would need a clean break of structure right there. The only reason this move is allowed to be aggressive is because there's demand right below. And then even so, that would only net you like a, maybe it might not even be like a 1 risk to reward trade, yeah. Not the best. But I'm seeing quite a few opportunities open up in the crypto market, at least for now. So stay paying attention there. Man, we're getting all the alerts now. AUDCHF. What's going on here? Oh, we've just swept Asia High, haven't we? Yeah. Yes, we have. Therefore, this is not anymore. It's no longer a nice range to look at. Unless we just happen to get pristine distribution into accumulation, so we'll see. We could, at the end of the day, we could. I'll just need to monitor this a little bit more. But yeah, Litecoin, I remember seeing a compression. Yeah, price is compressing. Let it do its thing. Doge, very similar story here. Potential distribution to the rest of the crypto market and Bitcoin as well. I think Doge is looking one of the first pairs to deviate. Virtual's not really, it's kind of just randomly pumping. That does also mean that you might be able to catch some form of distribution somewhere, but even so, like here, there's no real rejection PLY. Maybe in there, maybe. Yeah, not a whole lot. Hype. Same thing, not a whole lot. Hype is really looking good to kind of distribute. Like, yeah, in a way. It's quite, yeah, it's valid there. Let's have a look what Pump is doing. It's definitely not pumping, that's for sure. Would you look at that? Pump is actually potentially distributing. Who would have thought, guys? Who would have really thought? I wouldn't have thought so. Not me. Not me at all. Nice liquidity there. That could get swept. Nice. It's actually quite clean liquidity. Yeah, leave that as is, ladies and gents. Let's wait for some pullbacks. Quant has ran through supply, whilst also, I wouldn't really say it's somewhat accumulated. Yeah, not a whole lot for Quant there that interests me. Damn. A++ distribution. A++ distribution. Was it? No. No, it wasn't. Was that even an accumulation? Not really. I'm gonna remove this because it can throw you off. It threw me off. But yeah, nothing to play with quant. XMR has just done a mad one. Well, that's no longer of interest to me now, this range. You can, and I will allow the use of this range pool. That's fine, but you're going to need a whole lot more of a retracement, return to zone, like, yeah. Sol is also joining the others with that potential distribution. We can move Sol up a little bit. XRP as well. Congrats XRP. You finally have a setup that might allow me to take a short on you. Yeah, there is a little bit of liquidity there. Yeah, like all these ranges just need so much more time before I'll like dive into the depths of them. So we're essentially just really just pre-planning for weekend or early next week. XLM, it's nice. It's front range demand, but then it's mitigated this demand, which I do not like. Come back in here. This could be something. This could actually very much be a interesting. Where's my extreme liquidity? Where's my extreme liquidity? Well, there's extreme liquidity right there. And now we're going to dive deep and see if there is any form of demand below us that has not yet been mitigated. And there it is. That is enough for me to not want to take this trade. Yeah. that was very quick to decide not to take it. Although it'll be interesting to monitor how we react from these extreme POIs, supply and liquidity. Yeah, we'll wait and see. The fact that it's come so deep into it, but it's not leaving any form of demand here, makes me think that maybe we might be able to catch some form of move down, at least into here, but like, yeah, only time will tell. I think distance-wise, this actually isn't too bad. Yeah, 1 day range. 1 day and a bit. You know what? We'll move XLM a little bit higher. Aave. There's demand there. And it's also grabbed this, so just something to be aware of. And then what did yeah, this actually hasn't grabbed much, so, but it's like semi-overlapping, so I'll just be careful there. Aave we've just looked at, Bitcoin Cash. That was the A++ model, which we don't really need to go back into, but yeah, that is it for crypto, guys. A lot of potential distributions happening, so just keep your alerts on, monitor the charts occasionally. If you see the alert, pay attention to the chart. And yeah, that, and to just summarize Bitcoin once again, Bitcoin's looking exactly the same just as any other pair is at the moment. And with Bitcoin, if we continue to push higher, we are bearish still across the board. So is USDT dominance being bullish. But if we continue to push up higher, then this is the POI I'm looking for a potential rejection from. And then if obviously the distribution completes itself, then we can go a whole lot lower. So yeah, that is it for today. I might do one tomorrow. I'll see how I go. But yeah, other than that, take care guys, stay disciplined, and I will see you all soon.